Good morning. Glad to have you here with us. Let's get right to the news. The vote on the downtown stadium proposal is here. Brandon T. Jones is live with what can be expected.
A decision on that downtown stadium is coming today. I'll tell you everything you need to know coming up next.
Spokane County is staying in phase 3. Coming up, we're going to give you details about what you need to know about Governor Inslee's pause on the state's reopening plan.
And grab the coffee and join me outside. We're talking a beautiful day today and tomorrow before a change arrives this weekend.
Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning and welcome to Up with KREM. Today is the day the Spokane Public School Board is planning to vote on the proposed downtown stadium.
Now, this is a topic we've talked about a lot here on Up with KREM, and we've asked you your opinion. So this morning we want to know why you want the new downtown stadium or the Joe Albee Stadium renovated. Maybe it's the location, parking, a chance to see a pro soccer team in Spokane. Text us right now telling us why you're leaning for one or the other. 71% of you are saying, hey, build that downtown stadium, but 28% are saying renovate Joe Albee. You got the chance to have your voice heard right here on Up with KREM.
Yeah, we know there's a lot of different things to weigh when thinking about this decision, and a lot of you have been weighing in, not just on our show, but also on social media and publicly at city and school board meetings.
That's right. That's why Brandon T. Jones joins us from the location of that proposed downtown stadium spot to talk about tonight's vote. There's a lot to go over. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Tim, Dana Marie. It feels like over the last few years, this downtown stadium has been discussed, but today is the day that Spokane public school leaders will make a decision on whether or not it will be built here or whether they're going to continue with plans on renovating and replacing the Joe Albee Stadium. So there's two separate proposals that we'll take a look at. On the right is the downtown stadium. On the left is the Joe Albee Stadium. Proponents of the downtown stadium have said the new location would be in a more central location. Many say it would be better for students that would struggle getting out to North Spokane and Joe Albee, but more people would use the downtown stadium for possible concerts and even a professional soccer team. 2 weeks ago, the board set parameters that must be met in order to go through with the proposal. Some include SPS retaining all ownership with the priority on usage rights and free parking for district events. At Joe Albee, the stadium is currently too big and it's been around for decades. It would be replaced with a smaller multi-purpose facility and a new middle school would be built on the lot. This is something Spokane has been talking about for months. Here is what people have had to say at some of the meetings.
Now, if you build the stadium at the Joe Albee site, just like so many have already said, many of the kids, especially the lower income ones, may not be able to go there. Public transportation, like they said, doesn't go out there nearly as often. You're certainly not going to walk or ride your bike out there. But here's the important point. Not every mom or dad can take the time to get off work to get their kids to sports.
Why do the arts always get the shaft? There are lots of good things about this proposal, but everybody is ignoring the Spokane Civic Theater. It's not even on your drawing.
So that was just a glimpse at some of the reactions that have been floating around Spokane and discussing this new downtown stadium. There's been a lot of mixed emotions, and right now, like I said, I'm going to be standing right here in what would be the downtown stadium. On my right, we've got the podium that's currently being built. On my left, we have the Spokane Civic Theater that you heard referenced by the young lady earlier today. So if they brought this stadium here, this would be along with the Spokane Arena. So a lot of sports activities and potential businesses that could emerge as well. But we do want to hear from you. We want to hear what you're talking about and how you feel in terms of the new downtown location. So send us your reactions at 509-448-2000. Tim, Dana Marie.
Brandon, thanks so much for that update. The school board meeting will start at 5 o'clock tonight, and you can depend on our team to let you know what's decided.
7:04 now. We do have some breaking news just in the last few minutes. Facebook leaders announced they will not let former President Trump back on the social media platform for now. The company does plan to revisit the ban over the next 6 months. It's been nearly 4 months since President Trump was last allowed to post on most major social media platforms. Critics of Facebook's decision worry about the First Amendment implications, and some law experts believe Facebook may need government regulation in the future. In the meantime, Trump has already created a blog to get his voice out to supporters. Jeremy, I saw you just kind of hanging out there. Looks like a beautiful morning. Want to sip your coffee outside, maybe?
Yeah. Dana Marie, it is absolutely gorgeous out here. And I've been thinking about this for a few minutes now. It feels a lot warmer than what that thermometer suggests it is. You see a beautiful morning there in Coeur d'Alene, and here in Spokane, our temperature says it is 46 degrees. We've been about there with each temperature reading this morning, but I'm here to tell you 46 feels a lot warmer right now as I'm standing outside. Now, it's probably because I'm in a dark suit and I have many layers on, but it feels quite mild, and temperatures are in the 40s for everyone in the 7 o'clock hour here in the inland Northwest. And we're talking clear skies overhead, plenty of sunshine, and that's going to help our temperatures climb. Later on today, we'll see a couple more clouds build, but that's really going to be about it. Breaking it down hour by hour, we go from the mid 40s up to the 50s by 9 a.m. and I really think 60 by 10. And by this afternoon, we are going to have those temperatures climbing into the 70s. And for us in Spokane, that's the low 70s under partly cloudy skies. Even warmer tomorrow. By tomorrow morning, you're going to be hard pressed to get me back inside because it's going to be so warm.
Well, if you're a fan of mac and cheese, you probably already know about Mac Daddy's here in Spokane. What you might not know is that they're opening a second location. Nicole Hernandez has been there all morning long, trying many different dishes that look absolutely delicious this morning. What do we need to know about the second location? All I need to know is how much mac and cheese they have there. So much mac and cheese. They've just been loading us up with mac and cheese. They're going to bring us another burger right now. We decided to take a seat for this one. So I've got co-owner Nick here who's going to chat with me while we munch on this burger. So look at this. This is the Hawaiian Burger. This is one of the things that you guys were telling me was really popular but had to go for COVID. So now we've got this burger that's coming back. What else new can people expect from coming into this building?
So it's basically a complete remodel of the old building. So obviously everything's in here is new. The bar, the floor, the walls, you know, the entire building is basically new. We do have some new menu items coming. Not quite yet, but they are on their way. We have a mac and cheese corn dog that we're going to put on the menu. That's one everyone's excited about. We debuted that at a fair a few years back and it went really well. So we're really excited to add that to the menu along with some other new things. We have a lot of new staff, so a lot of new faces to learn. And we also have our own wine, which we're really excited about.
That stuff looks yummy. Mac Daddy's wine, all specifically from Yakima, so local wine, of course. And specifically for just some random details that you guys should probably know, we're on Newport Highway right now across the street from the Target that's up north here. Their grand opening is today specifically because this is the old El Sombrero building, so happy Cinco de Mayo. Look at that, there's the wine we were just talking about. So their grand opening is starting tonight. They're starting carry out and take out at 4, and then you can come in here a little bit later in the evening. But I'm gonna get right to what you guys probably all want to see, is taking a giant bite out of this mac and cheese Hawaiian burger. Look at that. Does that not look absolutely amazing? I'm going to embarrass myself right now, so don't judge, but I'll send things back to you guys.
Oh, Nicole, you're going to bring some of this back, right? I need a taste test and
Get
quality
those
control
napkins.
this. Yeah. Oh, that looks delicious. I just want to try everything on the menu, so this is kind of dangerous.
2 thumbs up from Nicole.
All right, Spokane County will stay in phase 3. After much anticipation, Governor Jay Inslee decided to pause his reopening plan, where we were expecting to move back to phase 2 based on our metrics. The governor says this pause to the Healthy Washington reopening plan is because even though we are in the midst of a 4th wave, the wave is now plateauing, so he doesn't expect it to get worse.
The governor did say this wave is less deadly than past waves thanks to the vaccine. So he does believe the best course of action here is to hold off as any phase changes for another 2 weeks and to continue vaccinating people.
Leading up to the decision, 14 counties were at risk of moving back to phase 2. The area shaded in dark blue you see there were at risk, including Spokane, Stevens, and Grant County.
Now all but 4 will remain in phase 2. That's Pierce, Cowlitz, Whitman, and Ferry County. They'll remain there for at least 2 weeks.
Anybody who's frustrated by the changes that we have seen both in our protocols and during this pandemic, you can do something about that. You can find somebody who hasn't been vaccinated yet, or yourself, and ask them to consider getting vaccinated.
Spokane's health officer, Dr. Frank Velasquez, says he's hopeful we can remain in phase 3 after this pause, but says we still have a long way to go.
We'll hear from the health officer director in our next half hour on Up with KREM. We'll also hear from Mayor Nadine Woodward's reaction coming up at 7:30.
May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Here on Up with KREM, we have special coverage planned for you this entire month. We will be welcoming people of AAPI descent on our show every Wednesday to talk about Heritage Month.
Restaurants and community leaders from around the Inland Northwest will be right here on Up with KREM. So we're going to tell you about these events and how you could participate and celebrate safely.
There's a lot going on. We want to show you this map, though. Take a look. The countries that are included in the category of Asian American and Pacific Islander includes Asia, of course, which covers countries like China, India, Russia, the Philippines, Iran, and more. There is a total of 48 countries on this map that we're covering.
Also included in this map is this month's heritage celebration, the regions of Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. Those are all subregions of Oceania.
Today, we're kicking off our coverage of Heritage Month with an on-air interview. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, we will be joined by the owner of the Mangrove Cafe. They serve Thai food with a mix of European classics in Spokane Valley. And since May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we want to highlight people of AAPI descent who have made history. Washington Governor Gary Locke was the first governor of East Asian descent in the continental U.S. He is also the only Chinese American governor of any state. Not only that, he was the first Chinese American to serve as the U.S. ambassador to China.